What is up, everybody? Grand Hustle Trader here. Just want to give you a quick breakdown of DXY dollar index. So the reason I like to start my analysis in Forex with looking at the dollar index is because the general rule of thumb is if you can determine strength or weakness for the week on dollar index, that's going to kind of point you to the trend for the week when it comes to any other pairs involving the US dollar. So it's extremely important that you always look at this chart and see what price is doing in order to give you a better understanding of what the trend will be for all of those pairs involving the US dollar. It's pretty basic stuff. You want to analyze the same way you would analyze any other Forex pair. And this is, of course, done to determine weakness or strength for the week. So if we look at the monthly view for the US dollar, we can see it's clearly bearish. There's a huge candle, man. This is about probably 700 pips. Let me just do a quick measurement. And yeah, it's about 780 pips. So when you're looking at that, you can kind of tell that for the most part, this candle's kind of done already. I would assume, and I think it's safe to assume that the next month's candle, December, will push down one more time and come touch this order block, which has not been tested. So what I like about this is that US dollar, for the most part, was in a huge range. And again, this is the monthly view. We had like this range here where price was kind of stuck, and then it pulls out of it on this candle here, which was back in May, breaks above slightly, pulls back down, and then June on, it just keeps pushing higher and higher. So it breaks out of this consolidation zone. So what do we expect? As usual, price should come back and retest this area, which some traders will call prior resistance turn support. Call it what you want. Price needs to come back and retest this zone, specifically this candle, because this is an order block. This is where the push began for the next impulse. That's what's most important, that these support and resistance traders fail to look at or understand, is that it's not really about what used to be resistance now turning into support. It's really about what candles drove price higher or lower, and that's the zone they need to be looking at. So if we drill down to the weekly view, we can kind of see here that this week has begun bullish, which is fine. That's actually a good thing. What I would like to see here is a strong push up to retest this price imbalance and fill in this zone here, this huge area of imbalance. Will that happen this week? I mean, I can't guarantee that, but the way it's looking so far, it's looking pretty good. If I drill down to the daily, you can also see here where today was bullish. And this translates into other pairs involving the US dollar. So we just take a quick look at, let's say, pound USD. You can clearly see where the US dollar strength affected the pound US Forex pair. This day went bearish when the dollar index was bullish. If you go to the Euro USD, same thing. It began bullish, and then as soon as DXY showed signs of bullishness, because it did start bearish, but then it turned bullish, what happens? The Forex pairs involved in US dollars, they react the same way. So this one came bearish as the dollar became stronger. So we're already towards the end of the trading session for the day, pretty much for US. And you can see here, it followed the direction of the US dollar. So this is why it's extremely important that you always look at DXY, so you can kind of gauge and understand what the trend is going to be for the week. So this pretty much pierced an old high here on the daily view, grabbed some liquidity, and they pulled it back down. This is a good little order block area where I would like to see some reaction for a possible push back up. But if it is going to push back up, that means the US dollar has to become weak. So we go back to the US dollar. US dollar is coming close to an order block, a daily order block. So we just want to wait for price to react in this zone to get an idea of where it's going to continue going, whether it's going to continue to push up to fill the imbalance, this huge gap, or is it going to just make another leg lower and come hit this weekly order block again for another test. This is an area of equal lows, so there's a lot of sell side liquidity down here. Price can easily push down below that, grab some liquidity, hit this order block for the month, and then give us a small retracement before pushing lower. There's two significant areas here, a weekly order block, but a monthly order block is slightly above it. So this is very important. And we're going to be able to determine the trend for the week just based on how price reacts in this area. And that's what you want to wait for. I've got my alarm set already. Once price hits that area, breaches that zone, I'll come look at the charts. I'll get notified. And then I can kind of plan out and identify trends going forward for the rest of the week for anything involving the US dollar. I hope you found this useful, and y'all have a blessed day. Talk to you later.